Okay, so I normally don't make videos like this, like ever, but I'm trying out new avenues and I'm trying to do different stuff with the channel just to be a little bit more entertaining. More entertaining for me instead of just pumping out daily content of leveling, which nothing wrong with pumping out daily content of leveling because I love leveling in the same spot all day, every day. But I have a confession. I have something that's happened to me in my past where it is traumatized, I guess you could say, to the point where sometimes when I go to bed, if I think about it, I get really scared. And it's like super hard to fall asleep. So this is my haunting experience. Okay, so it all started with me using the Ouija board. 10 and 10 do not recommend. So when we first used it, I got a group of my buddies and there was 3 of us total. So 2 of my friends and I. So yada, yada, yada. We use the Ouija board a lot. I get used to it and it becomes a fun activity for me. As weird as it sounds. And you should not mess with Ouija boards, by the way. Again, do not mess with the Ouija boards. Ouija boards are bad. Okay, fast forward a couple years. I go to my friend's party, and this is just like an inner friend group party, and some of them wanted to play the Ouija board, and me being the god of a Ouija, at least playing a lot with it. We don't have a Ouija board, but I can make one. So when you use the Ouija board, you're supposed to make like rules and guidelines for the spirit or whatever you're talking to. You're supposed to make guidelines. So like, you're not allowed to follow me after the session's over, stuff like that. Like I said, before you start, you're supposed to set guidelines. I did not set guidelines. This is my first time ever in my Ouija board experience where I didn't set guidelines. I didn't think much of it. And the reason why I didn't do it is because I didn't want to look like the freaking weirdo. And I didn't want to look like the crazy Ouija board guru guy. So I didn't set up guidelines. So we use the Ouija board. Everything works like normal. Party's over. I go back to my car. And as I'm going to my car, okay, I know I'm really bright. Just the reflection. I'm sorry. I look like a ghost right now. So as I go outside and go to the parking lot to go to my car, let's just say my car is in the middle. So as I'm walking to that car, I notice this car right here has a person in it just smiling. Dude, I'm too white. I can't even see myself. But they're just smiling, okay? Like that. Like super crazy. So what ends up happening is I do a double take. So I'm walking up to my car. I notice the person doing that weird smile. I look back to my car. And I'm like, wait, what the freak was that? I look back, the person is gone. Person is gone. Like that. Instant. It happened so fast. It happened literally as long as it takes to look over here and back, and that was it. I thought I made that up in my head. It happened so quick, I didn't really even think much of it. I was like, that was weird. Okay. So I go back to my car, go to bed, turn off the lights. I'm laying there. It takes me maybe like 5 to 10 minutes to eventually start to sleep. As I'm falling asleep, I hear a whisper say, hey. And I hear it so faintly that I kind of recognize it, but it didn't really hit me. And then I hear again louder, like maybe 2 or 3 seconds after the first one, saying, hey, louder. And it was a female voice in my left ear. I will remember it forever. Once I heard it, I sprung up. I took the covers off. The ceiling light is right next to me, right in front of me. So all I had to do was get up and turn on the light. And I'm like, holy crap. I was kind of like panicking a little bit at this point because I knew what I heard. I never heard whispers so clearly in my ear, especially twice. I don't know. It was so insane. It sounded like someone was just talking in my ear. And then I go ahead, call my buddy, and like, John, think I messed up. I think something followed me home. And he tries to calm me down like, oh, it's nothing. You're just freaking out. I go ahead and ask him if he can come over. He says, no, how about you come over? Me being too afraid and not wanting to go in my car because I feel like one of the most scariest scenes is like going in a car and looking in your rearview mirror and you see something. That is like something still today that freaks me out. So I end up going like, okay, you're probably right. And I end up hanging the phone and I decide to leave the light on because nothing bad happens with the light on, right? Nothing ever bad happens with the light. Possible. And then you got your blankie on top of you. You're protected. No, that is a misconception. I don't know why movies do that. I wish I would have let the lights off. So I decided to go to bed with the lights on. I go ahead and lay back down. It takes me like maybe 10 to 15 minutes to start to relax and like be like, okay, maybe it was all in my head. I shut my eyes, and the moment I shut my eyes, I start seeing this female get tortured, and she's like getting slash marks all over. I can't see who's doing it. It's just like this girl's out in the open, like a middle of darkness, and something is just slashing them. It's like a movie effect almost. So I'm like, What the freak is that? Hold on, let me draw this scene out for you. It's gonna be way better. Okay, set the scene up. There's me in my bed, so it's like me looking down. There's my legs, there's my arms, there's a TV. So as I open my eyes, I see a girl very similar to the, like, no joke, the Exorcist girl. There's some differences, but it's not like this. She was more pale. She was wearing old white clothes. Her smile, it wasn't like this. Like her cheeks were like this. Like a literally like a Joker's Happy Meal smile, just super cheek to cheek. She was staring at me on the left side of my bed. When I woke up, I sat there for a good strong 30 seconds just staring at her. I was almost paralyzed. I wasn't paralyzed, but I was shocked in fear. I didn't want to move. And I sat there and stared at her for a good 30 seconds. Keep in mind, she's maybe no more than a foot away from me. So she's like from my face, from like right here. She's this close. And we have a kind of a tall bed. So she's literally face to face as I'm leaning and I open my eyes. So I finally... Dude, I'm getting chills just even talking about this, honestly. Like, I hate talking about this, but when I finally built the endurance to have some balls, I put the covers over my head and I swing it over. So, you know, when you're under the covers and it gets like really hot in the covers and it's really hard to breathe and you have to like make a little pocket hole to see. I sat under the covers for maybe 20-30 minutes. So when I couldn't take it anymore and I needed some breath, I opened a little hole on the side she was at to see if she was still there. And I opened the hole. I saw her staring at me, and when I saw her there, I closed it up as fast as I can. And then again, I'm freaking out. I'm like, holy crap, what the heck is going on? It's almost like a surreal situation. Even when I think about it, it terrifies me, and it's still hard to believe, even though it happened to me. It's still hard to believe, even though it happened to me. So I'm like, holy crap, I'm freaking out. And I probably lay under the covers of maybe 30 to 40 minutes. It's a little bit longer. It's getting so hot and it's become so unbearable that I end up saying, screw it, I want to like confront her. So when I go to confront her, I throw off my covers off my face, off my body, and she's not there. She's gone. I take this opportunity as fast as possible to apologize to her and to say, I wish I never see you again, stuff like that. The most respectable way. I said it the nicest way I could. And guess what? I never saw anything again. But stuff did happen after. But after that, I didn't pretty much get any sleep for the next few days. It was really hard. For probably the next like 2 weeks or so, it was very hard for me to sleep alone. I've always like at a buddy's house or something like that. It was very hard for me. I don't do drugs. I don't do any of that. I never experienced something where I hallucinated something ever in my life, especially for something for such a long period. It seems a little weird that would be a hallucination, to be honest. After that incident, for like a good 2 to 3 years, maybe longer, every day, every moment I entered a room and they had lights, it would flicker all the time. So my lights would flicker. If I go to my mom's house, the moment I enter, flicker, and it would constantly flicker. And I would be like, Mom, you notice the lights flickering? And she's, yeah. And like I would tell them, like, wherever I go, lights would always flicker. I would wake up with scratch marks constantly on my body. If you guys want to see some photos, I think I still have some of them. And it would always be in like 3s or maybe sometimes even 2s. But I would always have scratch marks all across my body. I don't even have freaking fingernails. I don't know if you can see that. I definitely don't have any fingernails. And there was nothing around my bed. It's just, I don't know. It's very unexplainable things that were happening. Lights flickering, scratches right after that. And that lasted for years. Even still today, it sort of happens. Nothing to the extreme. Like I still get scratches. I still have lights flicker. And to be honest, how often do lights flicker to you guys? Once in a blue moon, it would happen to me every time I step foot into a room. Every time when I woke up, it would be constantly flickering. It would be like reminding me it's there. So what I did is to help combat this is actually pray. I wasn't very religious when I was younger. I feel really weird to even talk about religion, but praying has been honestly the best thing for me. But yeah, that's pretty much my traumatizing moment in my life. I feel like I did a pretty bad job at explaining that, but that is something that has happened to me. And if you believe me, I mean, that's up to you. If you don't, it's okay. Jeez, man, it feels weird, honestly. Like, I want to put the lights back on right after this, but I've learned lights don't help, but it's just like, it makes you feel like you're safe, to be honest. But again, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'm going to be trying to post other videos other than WoW, sometimes from here time to time, but hope you guys have a beautiful day. Peace.